Hi there guys, and welcome once again to Jonesy's vlog. So today I am not doing a sort of review of the game against Fulham because I've made the decision now, and it's something I've been thinking about for quite a while. There's many times due to work commitments and other things that I haven't been able to get to matches, especially ones at home, and I come on to do a review and find myself sort of, struggling to do that because obviously without being there, it's hard to give a true sort of reflection of the game by just going off what other people have said and by watching highlights. And I mean, in regards to the game against Fulham, I hardly talked to my dad about it because he was kind of so disappointed with the game. Twitter isn't really the most reliable place to go off, and there weren't really that many highlights from the game. So I've made the decision now. This isn't what this whole video is going to be about. I am going to get on to all things Leeds United, but I've made the decision, if I haven't been to a Leeds United game, if I haven't been to it live or seen it live or seen enough of it, if I've watched it on TV, then I'll still do the review. But if I haven't seen any of it, I'm not going to do sort of reviews straight after the match, a day after or something like that. And like I say, it's a decision I've sort of been thinking about for a while now, but I've made that decision now. So that's why over the past few days there hasn't been a direct sort of review of the game against Fulham on Saturday. Having said that, there is plenty to talk about at the moment with Leeds United, and why I've left it a week or so because, everything has just been going on recently. We'll start with the news that Massimo Cellino once again has been banned by the Football League. I know this is the kind of old news now, so I'm not going to go too much into it because everyone knows this by now. But yes, everything that had happened before has basically sort of come back, and the Football League have taken the decision to sort of impose this ban on Cellino. And the ban goes until next year sometime. I can't remember exactly what the date is now, but Cellino can't have anything to do with the running of the club in that time. But he has got someone else in charge. I can't remember his name, something Childs, I think. He's sort of taken over. But I think we all kind of know that Cellino will secretly still be kind of pulling all the strings behind the scenes, because I'm pretty sure the Football League won't be able to keep tabs on him, 24/7. So, although he's sort of publicly not involved with the club at the moment, kind of behind the scenes we know he will be. But it was kind of one of those things that we were all expecting to happen at some point. But for me, I was kind of shocked at how it was so sudden, and it just sort of came about. There was no inkling of it, coming along, or that there was a date where this decision was going to be made. It just kind of happened one day. But like I said, that there was no real surprise with it happening, because we know what the Football League are like, and they seem absolutely determined to pretty much ruin us, to be honest. And again, it just brings up those questions of fit and proper people. Cellino clearly does have his flaws, and I've talked about the things that I dislike about him before. But when you compare him to the likes of Vincent Tan, you've got the guy at Birmingham whose name escapes me at the moment. You have Oyston at Blackpool, who not Carl Oyston, I believe it's his dad, who is still a director or something. He's been a convicted rapist in the past. And you look at all these things, and for some reason the Football League still just fascinate on Leeds United, and that we're not run, in a stable condition, which is odd, because they keep coming out saying it's for the good of the club and it's for the good of the fans, when really long term you can't see how it can be, because we're probably the most stable we have been under Cellino in quite a few years, really. Like I say, there are many things that I don't agree with that he's done, and there's certain messes, but with what he's had to put up with, and again I'll get on to the money that was lost last year, that again he's had to put up with from previous regimes. If it wasn't for him, we really would be up shit's creek without a paddle right now. And now he's out of the club at the moment. It was revealed again around the same time that last year we lost something like £23 million. Again, that will be due to, you know, a legacy of Bates, a legacy of GFH. But because of that, we have now been placed under a transfer embargo, which will go through till June of next year. And all this, you know, culminates with us being in dire trouble now. And it's starting to make a lot of Leeds fans worry about where this club is heading once again. You know, I started off this season, you know, under Hockaday and everything, you know, thinking about relegation, thinking that, you know, things were going to go really, really bad. Then we seem to go a little bit more, I don't want to say stable, because of course we had the whole Redfern in, then Milanic in, and then back to Redfern, so that wasn't the most stable time. But we got to a stage where I seriously didn't think that we would be troubled by relegation, because I felt there were so many more teams worse off than us. I didn't think it was a possibility. And there were a couple of people who still sort of said that and said, you know, you're looking a little bit too optimistically kind of thing. And perhaps I was, maybe I was. But now all this has happened. And, you know, especially with the loss against Fulham, and we can see the true inconsistency of the team, especially with the loss against Ipswich as well. It's really shown how vulnerable we are, and looking at other clubs that I previously thought were worse off than us, maybe better than us, you know, relegation at this stage is a real possibility. And it's well, I don't want to say it's scary, because we've been there before, and it's just one of those things. I suppose we have to expect it with the club. But, you know, having been down in League One and got back up to the Championship, everyone felt that the only way was up, or, well, was certainly not to go back down again at any point. And look, we can question all the things that Cellino has done whilst he's been at the club, and the whole debate of whether he is a fit and proper person to run a football club will no doubt continue. For me personally, like I said, I've shown my criticism of him in the past, but I would rather have him in charge, trying to get things you know, sorted with the club. You know, he was actively looking for cash injections into the club. You know, that's something you can't deny. You know, he has been trying to get this football club back on a, you know, a level playing field. But with him, you know, out of the picture until you know, next year, with us not being able to really strengthen the team, I know there is a loophole with this transfer embargo thing of, you know, if we have a number of players that over 21 or something that have played a certain number of games, we can buy so many players that are under a certain amount of money and don't have a particular wage. I don't really understand it, but you know, that's not the most ideal way to try and strengthen your side. You know, there is so much that needs to be done in the team to help it along, because believe it or not, still I think we do have the makings of a decent team there. It just needs a lot of work and a lot of polishing off. And you know, if we can't do that in January, then we are going to be looking down below us the whole time. And I really didn't think we would be getting to that stage. I thought we would be, you know, looking to settle for mid-table and maybe try to push on next season. But it looks like it's just going to be one big struggle again. And like I say, after Saturday, you know, we'd had that decent result against Derby before, and then we go lose 4-1 away at Ipswich, which seemed to be a complete sort of shambles of a performance. And then Fulham, although we were creating chances and looked deadly, well, not deadly, but we looked quite dangerous in the first half. The second half, apparently, we just completely disappeared, and Fulham kind of outplayed us and deserved their victory. And that shouldn't be happening, especially at home, you know, in front of a fantastic crowd. You know, nearly 28,000 there for that game, with everything that's been going on, was magnificent. But if they're going to be seeing performances like that, you know, we're not going to be getting near those crowds again this season. And this whole thing of making Ellen Road a fortress, that seems a million miles away. and with our away form being poor as well, it's once again the Christmas blues with us. It seems to happen every year, but this year just seems a lot different, and like there's not going to be a way out of it. And looking at the upcoming games as well, it is a worry. You know, I can't see us doing much against Forest on Saturday. I mean, they're already a bogey side, and it's not the best, one of our best venues to visit. And like I say, it's not like we can look forward to January, because the chances of us making, you know, doing much business are very slim, really. And it's just a worrying time, and not a good time once again to be a Leeds fan. You know, the whole roller coaster seems to be chugging along nicely again, but more at a downhill pace at the moment. And like I say, a couple of weeks ago, I didn't expect to be sort of talking about this at Christmas time, but it's just one big shambles once again. You know, the Football League aren't helping, but I suppose once again we have to be looking at the people that have been in charge of us and have you know, royally screwed us over. So yeah, really not a very merry video today, guys. But just thought I should really go over all ground and cover a few things there. So let me know your thoughts on everything going on at the club at the moment. You know, if you can see any sort of light at the end of the tunnel or any positives to take at the moment, then please do let me know in the comments below or at my Twitter at ChrisJonesLUFC. For those that are interested in the gaming stuff and my other channel at Bartak Gaming, we are doing a live stream this coming Saturday. We'll be doing that sort of around, I would have thought, 7 o'clock, so it'll be after the football finishes. So that is twitch.tv/Bartak Gaming, which is all one word. I'll put a link in the description below. And also, I've started doing my live streaming again of doing games, and I could possibly be doing another one at some point this week. So just keep checking out my Twitter and for a video upload on YouTube for possible dates and times for that. But yeah, until then, guys, I will be speaking to you at some point before Christmas. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.